electrons in outermost shell, that element required 4 electrons to complete their octet. That is, a octet means in outermost shell there must be 8 electrons. Then we can say that that element is stable. So suppose I want to give example from the general life. Suppose me and my friend, suppose Anuradha ma'am, me and my Anuradha ma'am, we want to buy a chocolate, and the price of the chocolate is 8 rupees. Suppose then I have 3 rupees and Anuradha ma'am have 5 rupees. So what we will do? We combine the money and we will buy the chocolate. So in this case, I will give the money to the Anuradha ma'am. I will not accept the money from Anuradha ma'am, because I have a less number of money and she have more number of money. That's why I will give them and tell give Anuradha ma'am and tell him to buy the chocolate. Here the task is to buy the chocolate, which has price 8 rupees. So I will give Anudana ma'am 3 rupees. That is, my valency is 3. And Anudana madam have 5 rupees. That means Anudana ma'am's valency is not 5 rupees. Her valency is also 3 rupees. Like that, every element which has electrons in outermost shell, we cannot say that that is a valency of that electron. Valency means to accept. Sometimes electrons may be elements may be accept, or sometimes element may be donate to electrons to complete their octet. So one more example is there. Look at this example: sodium chloride. Sodium chloride means table salt, which we will use in cooking. So in case of sodium chloride, atomic number of sodium chloride is 8 and electronic configuration of sodium chloride is 2, 8 and 1. That means one electron is present in the outermost shell of the sodium. And in case of chlorine, chlorine atomic number is 70 and the electronic configuration of chlorine is 287. Means chlorine have the 7 electrons in outermost shell. If sodium give the 1 electron which is present in outermost, means sodium donate the electron to the chlorine to form a sodium chloride. And after that, when we get a sodium chloride, here a product of the reaction, sodium chloride. So sodium is in a stable octet, and also chlorine also converted into stable octet, that is chloride anion. Means sodium donate the 1 electron. That means its valency is 1, not 7. Then when we talk about the chlorine have a 7 electrons in outermost shell. Then we cannot say that chlorine's valency is 7, because it accepts only 1 electron to complete the octet. So we can say that sodium also have 1 valency and chlorine also 1 valency. According to Anuradha ma'am's definition, electrons present in outermost shell is called as valency. Suppose if we think about or we talk about the chlorine, there is a 7 electrons in outermost shell, but valency of chlorine is not 7, it's 1. Means when we accept the electron to complete the octet, then it is called as valency of that specific electron. Understood?
Yes, but
Okay.
One to add, ma'am. It may be 2 or it may be 8 or 8, like that. The shell, as per shell, the valence is different. Means not exactly octet they have to complete. They can be completed 2 only also. Like in case of hydrogen. Hydrogen
Yes.
only accept 1 electron or share 1 electron. Just I
Hydrogen
have
only
to
share
add
the
this.
1 electron. Okay.
because it
Yeah,
have
correct.
two
You're correct.
two electrons only, na? Means means if
Here
hydrogen
also
get
it is
one electron or it can share one electron, then it valency will complete. That's why at the in case of hydrogen, two he is able means he is trying to complete two, not eight. Like just I have to add this one.
okay. Oh, yes, right. Because this is not applicable for to every element. Suppose we talk about the helium, we talk about the hydrogen. These elements, when they have two electrons in the outermost shell, they will be stable. We can say that their octet also complete. Then, what is the valency of hydrogen? We know that it is a 1. And what is the valency of carbon? Do you know?
Oh, yes, I think carbon valence is 6.
No, atomic number of the carbon is 6, but
Okay.
valency of the carbon is 4. Then,
Okay, okay.
uh,
7, 7,
6, and
6,
valency is 4.
4.
Atomic
Okay,
number is 6, valency is 4.
4.
So,
Okay.
now the hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons are building blocks of the organic chemistry. If we want to study the organic chemistry, we must know the hydrocarbons and the structure of atom. Today we will discuss only hydrocarbon. Then the compound which contain only carbon and hydrogen as an element called as hydrocarbons. Those compounds who contain only hydrogen and carbon, none other element, is called as a hydrocarbons. For example, alkanes, methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, till the nonane, decane. There are number of alkanes are there. They contain only carbon and hydrogen. There is no element other than the hydrogen and carbon is present. Hence, we called it as a hydrocarbon. Then, when we think about when we talk about the alkenes, that is ethene and propene. These are the examples. There are number of alkenes also and alkynes. Example, ethyne, propine, and then aromatic hydrocarbons also benzene, toluene. These are the aromatic hydrocarbons. Do you know what is the difference between alkane, alkene, and alkynes? General difference. Okay, look at the name. If alkane, ALKA, if A is there, there is a single bond in the compounds. Suppose methane, ethane, propane. Here, all are the single bond in between the carbon-carbon and in between also carbon and hydrogen. If we will
Yes,
go
can
towards
I?
the alkenes, yes, yes,
Yes, I remembered. For alkenes, double bond is there, and for alkynes, triple bond is there.
very good. And last one, aromatic hydrocarbons. In that, alternate single and double bonds are present. These are the
Cyclic
basic
benzene
difference.
ring,
Yes,
cyclic compounds.
yes, these are the basic difference between them. Understood what is hydrocarbons?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then there are two types of the hydrocarbons. First one is saturated hydrocarbon and second one is a unsaturated hydrocarbons. In saturated hydrocarbons, these are the organic compounds and they are made of carbon and hydrogen, but that carbon present in the saturated hydrocarbon, they are connected by or they are connected by the single covalent bond. That means in the hydrocarbons in which single carbon carbon bond is present, then we can call it as a saturated hydrocarbons. For example, alkanes. Alkanes also called as a saturated hydrocarbon because alkane always contain a carbon carbon single bond. General formula of the alkane is CnH2n plus 2. Here, N is number of the carbon in present that specific compound. Suppose N is 3. What will be the number of the hydrogen? You can calculate easily from this formula. If carbon is 3, then what is the number of Hydrogens. Can
3.
anyone tell
Okay.
me?
8.
Very good. This is the general formula for to calculate the number of hydrogens in the alkane. Then examples of the saturated hydrocarbon, that is methane, ethane, propane, butane, and number of hydrocarbons are there. So these all are the saturated hydrocarbons. All alkanes called as a saturated hydrocarbons because they contain only single bond, carbon carbon or carbon hydrogen single bond. Carbon hydrogen always is a single bond, but carbon carbon is maybe double bond is there, maybe triple bond there, is there, but in saturated hydrocarbons there is only carbon carbon single bond, hence we call it as a saturated hydrocarbon. Understood?
Yes.
Then next type is sorry, uh, some properties of the saturated hydrocarbons. So physical state of the saturated hydrocarbon, lower alkanes like methane, ethane, propane, these all are the gases till the 3 carbon. Methane contain 1 carbon, ethane contain 2 carbon, propane contain three carbons. So they are gases at a room temperature. Then medium chain alkanes are the liquids. Suppose butane, pentane, hexane, um, heptane. These all are the medium, liquids in at a room temperature. And longer chain alkanes are solids. Then reactivity. Saturated hydrocarbons are less reactive than the unsaturated hydrocarbons. They are stable and they undergoes the reaction like a combustion, substitution reaction. They do not undergo the addition reaction like they also undergo the polymerization. So combustion and substitution reaction. In that sources of the in general we can say that hydrocarbons source of the hydrocarbons is naturally occurring compounds like fossil fuels, then crude oils, coal, natural gases. These all are the sources of the hydrocarbons. Then suppose do you know LPG?
Yes.
What is the long form of LPG?
LPG, na? LPG liquid pressurized gas.
Okay. Here in LPG, gas is used, but when we say that LPG liquid pressurized gas
Yes.
means that propane is gas and it is pressurized in the cylinder. Due to pressure, gas is converted into liquid. Hence, liquid pressurized gas. This is one of the use of the saturated hydrocarbons. Propane is a saturated hydrocarbons, and methane also in cooking gases somewhere. I don't remember exact example, but in methane also used as a cooking gas. Then industrial applications also like making plastics, lubricants. We can use the saturated hydrocarbons. Uh, so these are the uses of saturated hydrocarbons. Then unsaturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated hydrocarbons is the type of
Renu,
hydrocarbon.
Renuka
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
Just I want to tell that methane gas now.
Hmm.
We are preparing the biogas. Are you remember?
Yes, 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 yes. Right,
From
right.
that methane is liberated, and that is earlier days we are using for cooking.
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you. Then unsaturated hydrocarbons. An unsaturated hydrocarbon is a type of hydrocarbon that contain at least one double bond or one triple bond, which is between the carbon-carbon. That saturated is containing a single carbon-carbon bond, but here in unsaturated hydrocarbons, carbon-carbon double bond or it may contain carbon-carbon triple bond. If they don't contain carbon-carbon triple bond or double bond, we cannot say these compounds are unsaturated hydrocarbons. Then uh, uh, these compounds are characterized by their ability to undergo addition reaction. This is a most important property of unsaturated hydrocarbons. They can undergo the addition reaction due to presence of multiple bonds. Here, carbon-carbon double bond and carbon-carbon triple bond is present. In that pi bond, that bond is pi bond, and there is a pi bond electron density between the two carbons. Hence, it undergo the addition reaction. Do you know any example of addition reaction? I will tell you. Ethanol, which is present in lab, yeah, for 11th 12th, we have seen the number of times a bottle of ethanol, how ethanol is prepared. Ethene, that is, what is the structure of ethene? cs2 cs2 double bond cs2. This is the structure of ethene. When we add the water in ethene in presence of catalyst, catalyst name is phosphoric acid, then we will get the ethanol, C2H5OH. Here, ethene and water, they are combined. Means water is added into the ethene across the carbon-carbon double bond in presence of phosphoric acid, and we get the ethanol. There is no byproduct. Here, addition reaction means substrate and reagent. Reagent is added into the substrate, and we will get the compound or product. There is a no byproduct. This is a addition reaction. So then unsaturated hydrocarbons are classified into two main types. First one is alkenes and second one is alkynes. Alkene means hydrocarbons which contain one double bond between the carbon atoms. Here the general formula of the alkene is CnH2n. That means N is a, here also N is a number of carbon atoms. For example, ethene. Ethene means here two carbons are and four hydrogens are present, and in between the two carbons there is a carbon-carbon double bond. And then second one is alkynes. These hydrocarbons have at least one triple bond between the carbon atoms. In alkenes, Alkenes, here alkenes, that means carbon-carbon double bond. Alkynes, Y, that means carbon-carbon triple bond. General formula of the alkynes is CnH2n minus 2. And here example of alkyne is ethane. So here ethane means two carbons and two hydrogen, and in between carbon there is a carbon-carbon triple bond. Understood? Types of hydrocarbon, unsaturated hydrocarbons.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Then properties of unsaturated hydrocarbons. Uh, Unsaturated hydrocarbons are more reactive than the saturated hydrocarbons due to the presence of pi bond. In saturated hydrocarbon, there is no pi bond because there is a covalent bond, carbon-carbon single bond, that is a covalent bond. And here, carbon-carbon double bond or maybe triple bond is present, and double bond and triple bond are the pi bonds. Due to the pi bond density, they are more reactive. Then second property, they participate in addition reactions such as hydrogenation, halogenation. These are the types of the or name of the some chemical reactions which undergo the addition reaction. Means reagent is added, whole reagent is added into the substrate. Hence we called it as a addition reaction. Then they can undergo the polymerization. What is the polymerization? Means poly means more than one, mer means the part of specific compound or molecule, and rization means combine. Polymerization means small part of the specific molecule get combined to form a long chain. For example, we know that polyethylene, commonly we use carry bags, that carry bags, or some some plastic utensils we use, that all is a polyethylene, which is made from the ethene. When ethene, number of ethene molecules, they are combined together, then we get a polyethylene. Then uses. It is used in the manufacturing of plastics, synthetic fibers, fuels, and serve as a raw material for the production of various chemicals in the photochemical industry. And this is the use of the unsaturated hydrocarbons. Earlier we see that seen that preparation of ethanol, when we add the water into ethene, in presence of phosphoric acid we get ethanol. This is a one example of the use of the unsaturated hydrocarbons. Here ethene we use it as a unsaturated hydrocarbons. Ethene contain carbon carbon double bonds. Understood till here?
Yes.
Is there any doubt?
No.
So now it's your turn. Okay, I will tell you the points. You will tell me the difference between saturated and unsaturated. So first, bonds. Which type of bonds is present in saturated and unsaturated? Tell me.
Saturated hydrocarbon contains only single bond and a single covalent bond, and unsaturated hydrocarbons contains the double and triple bond, which
Very
includes
good.
the pi bond.
Okay, very good. Then next point is hybridization. मैं ये बताना भूल गई hybridization, लेकिन I will tell you. In the unsaturated hydrocarbons, carbon is sp3 hybridized. Saturated in saturated hydrocarbons, carbon is sp3 hybridized, and in case of unsaturated hydrocarbons, carbon is sp2 or sometimes sp hybridized. For reactivity, what is the difference between reactivity in saturated and unsaturated?
Reactivity in case of saturated hydrocarbons, it is less reactive than unsaturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated hydrocarbons are more reactive because of that pi bond.
Very good. Then next one, stability.
Obviously, less reactive means more stabilized in case of
Yes.
saturated hydrocarbons, and in case of unsaturated hydrocarbons, they are more reactive. That's why they are less stable.
Okay, very good. Then what about reactions?
Okay. Reactions, saturated hydrocarbon shows the addition reactions, and in case of unsaturated hydrocarbons, they shows the addition reactions also, and also they shows the polymerization reactions also.
Saturated hydrocarbons undergo the substitution reaction. When we can
Uh,
say that it goes addition reaction, it should contain carbon-carbon double bond or
double bond.
triple bond. Hence, it is
Right.
a substitution reaction. One of the substitution reaction means one of the atom from the substrate is replaced by the another
Another
atom from the reagent. Then examples.
examples: ethane, methane,
Okay, very good.
then propane. They are the example of saturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated hydrocarbons are ethylene, then ethine, methylene, methine, propylene, propane, that all.
Okay, very good. See, we simply we can
Sorry,
say that.
propylene, propylene. By mistakenly, I told propane, propylene.
Okay. Simply we can say that saturated hydrocarbons means all alkanes and unsaturated hydrocarbons means alkene and alkynes. So find out the saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons from the following compounds. What about the methane?
Saturated.
Okay. The next one,
Uh, Actually, this is unsaturated, I think. Middle one, na?
why? Huh? Why?
Uh, because it bromide addition, I think.
No. देखो, when we say that it is
No,
hydrocarbon,
no, no. It is saturated only. Yes,
no, it is not saturated and not unsaturated. This is not a hydrocarbon because it contains a bromine, which is another element than the hydrogen and carbon. We can say what we will say ki, hydrocarbons are the compound which contain only hydrogen and carbon.
hydrogen carbon, right?
So it is not hydrocarbon. It is halogen derivative. So what about the alkene? That is ethene.
Unsaturated.
Very good. Then alkane.
This is saturated.
Okay. Then next one, butane.
Bu- Butane, it is saturated.
Last one, cyclopentane.
That is unsaturated.
Okay, very good. Here, alkane, third in first row, third example. By mistakenly, I write here ethane. It is a ethene. Okay. Spelling mistake is there. Ethane, here it is ethane, but it is not ethane. It is a ethane. So these are the some questions from the previous year question papers. First one is what is hydrocarbons? Distinguish between a saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. April 2018, October 2022, October 2016 for 7 marks. Then MCQ is also there. Two MCQs from April 2017. First one is hydrocarbon containing a triple bond between carbon atoms are known as. What is the answer?
C. C. Option number C.
Very good. And then third one, general formula for alkane is?
General formula for alkane is B1. B.
Yes, yes, very good. So thank you. Is there any doubt?
These MCQs type question, it is not for our exam, na?
No, 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 no,
Yes.
no. Okay. Let me tell you. For content means for 106. The question paper it is for 40 marks. Yes. So 15 marks means total 30 marks for the subjective question and 10 marks for the objective question. So 10 objective questions will be asked in your prelim and in the final examination, university examination. Yes, because from those question papers only Renuka she took the questions,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And most of the time the question will come on addition reactions also
Yes, ma'am.
about hydrocarbon, saturated, unsaturated, even addition reactions, and most of the time the filling the blanks, at least one filling the blanks it is there related to the hydrocarbon. It can be
Yes, ma'am.
alkane, it can be alkene, it can be alkyne. They can ask you about the bonds. Number of
Means,
bonds are
ma'am,
there.
MCQs are there, ma'am, in our exam.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Only
Okay.
in 106. Only in
Okay, okay.
106.
Okay.
Yes, not in other paper, means not in
10
general.
marks.
Yes, only for 10 marks. Yes. Out of 40, 10 marks are there. Yes.
Okay.
And see, see, simple, because after understanding the topic hydrocarbons, easily you recognize means which is the correct option. Okay.
Yes.
So how many bonds are there in the alkyne, right? What is the general formula of the alkane? It can be alkene, it can be alkyne, right? Okay, my one question to you all, if you're going to compare the general formula of alkane, alkene, and alkyne, how you can means simple trick it is there. How you can easily recognize that formula, recall that formula. Just compare all the general formulas.
Ma'am.
Alkane, alkene, and alkynes. Yes, Renuka.
For alkene,
Yes, Renuka.
CN, S2N plus 2. Alkane.
Yes.
Okay.
Just remove
Then
plus
we
two.
go plus 2. Okay.
Yes.
Then we will go towards the alkene. That is
Alkene.
double bond. Then we will
Yes.
cut the 2.
Yes.
Yes,
CN,
yes.
S2N.
And
And then
in alkyne, the last
Minus
one.
2, ma'am. Just
minus
we
the 2.
had
See,
to add
it is
minus.
very easy, no? It means in alkene we have to just add plus two. In alkene we have to just remove two, and in alkyne we have to just minus 2. Plus 2, neutral and minus 2. Okay, it will be easy for you to recall. Okay. So now this is time to give feedback. Renuka, I must appreciate you the way you have explained the entire topic. Your all concepts related to topic are very clear. Yes, are you agree with me? Pooja,
Yes, ma'am.
Anuradha, Priyanka. Very nicely she
Yes,
has
ma'am.
explained. You can see the flow of explanation. The topic was hydrocarbons. Very nicely she has explained with the valency. And what I like, even the other members, Anuradha, she also gave the inputs, right? The example of, I
Yes, ma'am.
remember that example of hydrogen. Even when she gave example of saturated hydrocarbon, that was LPG, right? So again, one example was given by Anuradha. See, this is the thing I'm expecting from you guys. आप सभी को टॉपिक्स पता है लेकिन आप एक अपने अपने इनपुट्स डाल रहे हो कहीं ना कहीं वो रिकॉल हो रहे हैं राइट
Yes, ma'am.
yes
After
and
so
very
many days,
nicely
ma'am.
means yes actually and very nicely she has explained the concept of hydrocarbon with various example difference between alkane and alkynes types of hydrocarbons saturated unsaturated their properties their uses yes even the classification of hydrocarbons yes
Yes.
and what I like the most was the gist of this seminar, the last part. Okay, the difference
Questions.
between yes, the difference between saturated and unsaturated hydrocarbons. I think because you know that was like a recapitulation. See that the
Mm-hmm.
particular that thing you can use in the lessons also, no? If you're
Yes.
going to teach any two different topics, so what are the difference? Okay, so what differences we saw? Okay, so the entire, I think, entire topic she has covered at the end. That was summarization of the topic with the different points, difference between saturated and unsaturated, and even the last part also. See, she has added that bromine part. कभी कहीं ना कहीं click नहीं हुआ कहीं ना कहीं हम बोले नहीं this is saturated this is unsaturated but lastly what is the definition of hydrocarbon very nicely she has explained very nice Renuka God bless you Renuka. Very nice.
थैंक यू मैम. मैम लास्ट ईयर मैं टीचिंग करती तो 11-12 को पढ़ाती थी ना तो इस उसमें था वो तो इतना difficult
नहीं
नहीं
ये
है.
कंसिडर मतलब मुझे भी अच्छा लगा कि मुझे लगता है कहीं कहीं मेरा भी वो बोलते हैं रिवीजन टाइम इट वाज लाइक दैट
Yes, ma'am.
बिकॉज़ वी नॉट
After
यूज्ड ऑफ द
12th,
एक्चुअली
after
actually
12th,
very
I
nice
didn't touch this chemistry topic.
but
So I
Anuradha
enjoyed.
I must appreciate you because still you are having content knowledge means able to
Yes,
recall
ma'am.
those things
My
after a long
favorite
gap
subject,
also
ma'am.
okay that is good okay so I think now time it is over let me know Pooja I think
Yes, ma'am.
now
Yes.
we can give you a seminar in the next lecture. Is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. So the same thing I'm expecting. Please be interactive. I'm expecting discussions. It's not though it is seminar, but I'm expecting discussions, additions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, very nice. Please keep it up. Thank you so much. I think we should stop here. Have a great day ahead. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am.